Hello friends, I am Sharma and today we are doing India at the Eve of Independence Part 1. We will start with India before Britishers rule and colonial exploitation of India of agriculture, industry and trade. India before British rule. India was self-reliant country. It was very rich, called Sone ki Chidiya, and it was self-reliant in agriculture. Main occupation was agriculture. Farmer raised crops like rice and wheat, and 80% of education worked in agriculture. Then handicrafts like stones, cotton, silk, and metal. Their handicrafts were of very high quality, and because they were of very high quality, they were demanded all over the world. So uh, we traded these all products to Europe and Asia. We exported them, and they were in great demand. India was a rich country, so many countries traded with it. That means countries were attracted towards India because it was very rich. And Europe Industrial Revolution came, and they wanted raw material as well as market for their products. So many countries were trading with India, like Portugal, like France, and of course Britishers also wanted market in India for raw material and for their finished products. So they also came to India and formed East India Company. Later they indulged in political affairs of India, and after 1757, when Battle of Plassey was lost, and it came under Calcutta came under British rule, then gradually whole country came under British rule and called British colony. First we'll take up agriculture. Britishers systematically uh, destroyed our agriculture. They brought in zamindari system. Zamindars were permanent owners of land, and they were they were to pay fixed revenue to British government. So they acted as middlemen, because they collected revenue from farmers. So zamindars could charge any amount from farmers as revenue. And since they had to give fixed amount to Britishers, so they extracted any amount from farmers, and there was no one to stop them. Britishers were least concerned about these farmers. They were concerned with their revenue only. Exploitation of farmers by zamindars. So atrocities were committed by zamindars, and they exploited them. Farmers got subsistence wages, and so they did not have cash and had no interest to improve agriculture. Farmers were landless. Even if they had land, uh, on one pretext or the other, zamindars would take away their land and make them landless. And they themselves lived a lavish lifestyle and neglected improvement of agriculture. So no one was interested to improve agriculture. British government was not interested, zamindars were not interested, and even tillers were not interested. Commercialization of agriculture. Farmers were forced to grow indigo, cotton, or any other raw material required by the British people. No new technology. Britishers were not interested, they were exploiting, and zamindars were also not interested to introduce new technology as they were very rich, and farmers had no means to improve technology. British government systematically destroyed Indian handicrafts. They followed these policies. Discriminatory tariff policy. Heavy taxes were imposed on Indian exports. and no tax on import of British products into India, and no tax on export of raw material from India. It means that since they were tax free, so they were cheap, and these Indian exports became very expensive, so the demand for their products fell. Disappearance of princely courts. Before British rule, there were Nawabs, Rajas, emperors who gave protection to artisans and they patronized them, and under them they could progress and make good quality products, and they exported them to world over. But after disappearance of princely courts after British rule, there was no one to protect them, and under British policies they could not survive. Competition from machine made goods. Because British people brought their products, machine made goods in India, they were quite cheap and their quality was also good. So these handicrafts could not survive in face of them. New pattern of demand. New style emerged in India where people demanded foreign products, and because they were cheap and their quality was comparatively better. Introduction of railways in India. It helped in expansion of British products uh, all over India. Atrocities were committed by Britishers and they forced Indian artisans to close their industry. Industries could not grow in India because British people just ignored development of India. They wanted development of or industries in Britain. Capital goods industries were non-existent. Some industries were there: cement industry, sugar industry, steel industry, etc. Modernization of Indian industries were ignored by British government. Why? Because they wanted to modernize their own industries in Britain. They focused on railways, power generation, development of ports, and means of communication. These all helped them to expand their market in India. Then comes trade. Before British rule, Indian handicrafts were demanded all over the world. They were of very high quality and they were demanded all over the world. They were par excellence. Cotton, silk, metalwork, all were in great demand. But after British rule, India became net exporter of primary products and importer of finished products. Such kind of country who exports primary products and imports finished products is called backward economy, and India became backward economy. Control of India's foreign trade by Britishers. Now India was under British rule, so the control came in the hands of Britishers. Surplus trade only for the benefit of Britishers. So all profit they kept with themselves and used to meet administrative expenses and fighting wars abroad and in India. So students, if you liked my video, please like, share and subscribe. Also press bell icon button. Thank you.